Yeah, I think like any person that facilitates product, fundamentally I need to know and I want to find out what my customers need and like what the most valuable thing is for us to build. And Redox has long had our JSON, a proprietary standard that was RESTful, JSON oriented. So like we're deeply familiar with this, idea of a modern RESTful language and arsenal. But we really wanted to find out like what are our customer base and what are prospective customers? What are they thinking about FHIR? How do they view it? And how are they taking that standard with respect to their own application design, architecture decisions, who they're hosting, so on and so forth. And so a recent survey that we conducted through our research arm sort of indicated that 60% on a weighted average, we have folks that are likely to like literally center their application design or infrastructure decisions around FHIR as a standard. And I think that's interesting for two reasons. I think we've had a lot of healthcare standards in the past. We have CDA, we have SFTP, but I'm not sure I've ever talked to many people that are like, hey, I'm going to go put all my data in a pipe delimited fashion in my database. So the idea that like FHIR is taking on this construct for RESTful web interactions and data in transit, but it's also adding this evolutionary parcel that's just, hey, I'm actually going to store and retain and at rest this data in a FHIR-oriented fashion, I think is really an intriguing evolution to the standard and not something we've seen with previous standards. And then I think the other thing to that point is, some of our primary partners, AWS, GCP, Microsoft, they're all building FHIR-oriented healthcare clouds with these massively valuable added services on top, natural language processing, AI, and ML. But at their core, they're stored as chunks of FHIR resources. And I think that's a really interesting tally in the terms of like, how is FHIR evolving as a standard? It's like you see these big organizations coalescing their at-rest operations and compute and analysis on the FHIR standard and not just using it as a way to move data in. So I think that probably speaks to what our recent research shows more than anything else.